All right, this video is going to be for people who want to refer a whole lot of other people to generate profits with crypto's OTC, or really who want to refer a lot of people to any sort of offer. I guess it doesn't really matter, but crypto's OTC is such a no-brainer of a deal. Here's on the screen here, you see these are people I've referred today. This is not bragging, this is just to show you. I think I've referred about 600 people so far. We're halfway through the day now. Looks like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 16, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 26 people today so far. I had a couple days where it was over 100 for the day. Some days are in the 30s, 40s. A couple days I think we're around 13 or 14. But this is very significant. Now, before I get into looking at numbers here, I just want to point your attention to the earnings disclosure, because I'm not a financial or investment advisor and my results may be exceptional, not typical. Your results may be different. Past performance here doesn't necessarily predict what future performance is going to be. And there's risk in any sort of venture business-wise. It requires you to use capital. There's going to be some kind of risk, and that risk is on you. So don't ever risk anything that would be painful in your life if you were to lose it in a worst-case scenario. This is not financial advice. It's just some guy sharing his opinion and his experience as we go through this thing. Okay? So if we look at my numbers here, we're partway through the day 27 here. We got about another 6 hours left for the day. I think I'm going to be over 7,000 profits for the day. But if you look at yesterday, I had a 15.8% gain. That was in a single day. Day before that, 18.38% gain, single day gain. These are all single day. Each row is a single day. So this was 63.45 in profit yesterday, 62.32 in profit the day before, 44.31 the day before, and so forth. I skipped right over the fives. Now the reason I'm showing this to you is to illustrate to you the value of referring others. You're always more powerful in a group than you are as an individual. And anything that ever happened always happened with the group. Okay? And the referral side of COTPS is completely optional, obviously. I have a lot of people who've come in and they're not interested in that at all. All they want to do, they don't want to spend any time. They just want to move some funds from one account into their other account and just let it build up. And that's totally fine. And I'm not going to love you any less either way you do that, okay? But what you're looking at is about 3.5% per day. So my first day, I didn't do cycles the whole day. I earned 3% just on the transactions. Second day, I was attempting to use an automated click bot, and my kid closed my laptop and shut it down, so I earned 2.9% that day. The next day was almost entirely transactions. I don't know if I even had any referrals at that point. I earned 4.1%. But as time went on, you see this percentage, this daily percentage profit increase. It increases. That's mainly from referring other people. And so you need to understand how this works. This is extremely powerful. This isn't like your MLM where you sold some kind of juice. You get $1.10 off every member of your weaker leg down 11 levels. I mean, this is just straightforward percentage, 15%. So if we look at some of these shots, so here today, just randomly selected 3 people. People are sending me screenshots so they can qualify to use some of the resources that we have for our team. One of the resources I asked for them to have funded $500. But so they send me these screenshots, and if we add these for these 3 referrals up, we're looking at $59.35 in funding. So your commission on their profit is 15%. In other words, if somebody that you've referred makes $100 in profit for the day, you make 15. Doesn't take it out of their 100. They still get their 100. You just get 15. So if they made 1,000 in profit that day, you made 150. It's 15% of all the profit on everyone you refer. If your customers don't profit, you don't earn anything. Do you see how beautiful that is? If they don't profit, you don't earn anything. The only way you can win is if they win. But if you do the math, assuming they're all doing their cycles, okay, and they're earning their 3.5% for the day just by doing transactions, and you get 15% of that, That's about 3.5 times 0.15. That's a little over 0.5%. It's 0.525%. So 59.35. So just for these 3 people, if they just run their transactions for, this is just for 3, they just run their transactions for the day, I would earn $31.16 for today. Approximately. Be a little bit more because it's compounding through the day. Now tomorrow, it's not going to be 31. This is assuming they're running all their cycles and they're not withdrawing yet. If they just do that for a month, what will happen is that 5,900 or whatever it was, I think it was 59 something, that'll increase by 2.8 times after 30 days. So when you compound at 3.5% per day for 30 days, you get a 2.8x increase. It's a 180% increase. Okay, so if you start with 10,000 and you compound at 3.5% per day, after 30 days you have 28,000. So your percentage for the day on 28,000 is a lot higher than it is at 10,000. If we just forget about that for the sake of math and we just assume that this continued in the same fashion for 30 days, that'd be $934 in recurring income for me based on these 3 people, even if their account balance wasn't compounding for 3 people. It's like a $311 and change dollar a month recurring. Can you imagine in your old network marketing thing that whatever you did where you had some juice or lotion or potion, if each customer that you brought in yielded $311 a month, you might have actually been able to make it work. But because you only got $1.20 off each member of your weaker leg, if you qualified based on however much money you spent, which is more than you were making, you just couldn't make it work. So what's the point? The point is not to sell you on this or convince or persuade you. The point is just illustrate the math to you. How am I able to earn 18% in a single day? Well, that's just, or 15% in a single day. It's mostly referral commissions. It's mostly a commission that was generated, calculated as a percentage of the profit my people were generating. So if I'm generating $1 million a day in referral commissions, that's only 15% of however much profit my people are generating. On my level 1, my level 2 pays 10%. This is extraordinarily powerful because 1, there's no cost for them. There's no price. They don't have to buy the software. It's free. All they have to do is move money from one account to another. There'll be a fee for moving crypto. It's tiny. It's $250 for me to move from Kraken into COTPS. There's no recurring costs. I mean, the product generates profit. Why would they ever go anywhere? Every month, their account's going to be bigger than it was the month before. Every month, they're going to generate more profit, unless they're stupid and they pull all their money out. And so your referral commission will go up every month. Well, it's already a huge chunk. How much more do you need it to go up? Well, my God, what if you referred 400 people, 500 people, 1,000 people? I'm just over 600 at this moment. This is day 27. So actually about 23 to 24 days of actually telling people about this. Not all of them have funded yet. Some of them are going slower than others. Some people have money in their crypto wallet and they fund right away in a few minutes. Some of them never used crypto before. It takes them a day or two to get through the instructions and get a crypto wallet and get verified and get money wired in it. You know, there's a lag, but there's a certain point where it starts to get interesting. And for me, that point was right around $18,000 in my account, or day 15. And whether it started to become interesting because of account balance or it started to become interesting because of the number of referrals, I don't know, because there's no way for me to see who's funded what unless they tell me. But I can tell you at that point, my daily profit jumped up to $1,200, and the next day it jumped up to $1,600, the next day $18, the next day $23, and the next day $26, and the next day I broke through $3,000 a day. I mean, at this point, it was starting to become really interesting, and I thought $3,000 a day consistently every day, that's really more consistent than I've had my entire career in business. And I've done well in a lot of different things. And then we got up past $4,000 a day, and I said, wow, shazam, this is really going to go. And then it got up past $6,000. So the last 2 days been up past 6,000 a day, and today, like I say, I got a quarter of the day left. It looks like I'm going to cross 7,000 daily there. Now, where's this going to stop? Well, that's the interesting thing is I don't, unless there's some act of God or some catastrophe or some major act of criminality, it's not going to stop if you just look at the math. As long as the arbitrage software continues to produce the way that it's exactly the way it's been producing, this is just going to keep going up because I'm not getting paid based on bringing people in. I'm getting paid based on how much they profit. And if they're compounding and their accounts are going up, every day they have more profit. So even if I never referred another person, this would still continue to go up, at least until they withdraw. And you'll see some days it'll gain more of a percentage than others. Well, what happens is those people, sometimes they'll do a withdrawal. Now, in a few hours here, I'm going to do a withdrawal. I have a withdrawal schedule set up according to account balance amounts. When I hit 28,942, I took out 5,000. When I hit 38,445, I took out 7,000. And when I hit 59,44, I'm supposed to take out 10,000. Well, I'm already past that. And the reason I'm past that is because I was out when I passed that. And I'm right between cycles, so I got to time it a little bit. The thing is, like, these commissions don't stop. So if we go back, let me go to blah, blah, blah. All right, here. Let's go to my team. And let's just look at 186, 631. Here, let's make a note. 186, 631. That's my level 1 commissions right now that I haven't received yet. That's my level 1. So as my level 1 referrals, and there's a whole lot of them. I mean, this goes page after page after page after page. As their cycles roll over, as they do transactions, and those transactions finalize, and they're bringing the money back into their wallets, it's automatically calculating my 15% and adding it here. Level 2 shows here. Now this just ran not that long ago, so these all go to 0. When you run these, you click receive, and it receives this to your wallet. So if I look at my level 3 here and I click receive, you'll see that goes to 0. Okay? What happened to it? What happened to it is now it's available in my wallet for use. So that went from $4 something to $10 something. So when I do that on any of those, it receives them to my wallet. That's why the button says receive. Okay, now I'm not going to receive this, but you can see already it's 190.62. Just a minute ago it was 186. So as people's transactions are rolling over, some of them have it on complete automation. You see that amount increases. And then every time I run a cycle, every 2 hours and 14 minutes or so, we'll automatically receive these. We'll click receive here, click receive there, click receive there. That'll pull several hundred or whatever it is from my commissions. It'll put it in my wallet. I can use those for transactions. So you get referral commissions off the profit of those you've referred, and you put those into your balance, and that balance can then be used to run more transactions for you, so you have a larger account balance. And it starts fueling. One fuels the other, you see? And it's more funds to work with. So now I can buy more crypto to resell and more crypto to resell. So on day 1, I had $3,400 to work with. Well, right now I have almost $52,000 to work with. That's a big difference. I can buy as much crypto as my account will handle. Right now that's $51,000. Now today I'll do a withdrawal here of 10 grand. That'll be my next one. And this will go down to, well, I don't know what it'll be by the end of the day. It'll probably be about 53,000 something. That'll go down to 43 and we'll start over. Well, you can see I was at 43 less than 2 days ago. I mean, at $7,000 a day, it's not going to take it long to get back up to my next withdrawal. Now my next withdrawal will be at 104,000. I'll take out 15,000. There's a reason why I have this schedule. I'm not going to go into all that now. You guys have to figure out your own withdrawal schedule. But it goes really quick when you're getting 18, 15, 13, 14% per day increase. Now, if you run a spreadsheet out at 3%, I mean, it's astounding what you could do in 6 months. Your mind rejects it, but the math is correct. Well, if you think that's astounding, start referring some other people and having them fund. And I mean, it just gets to the point where it's ridiculous. So all these targets I had to do by the volume. I had initially postulated that I would run them according to schedule. So what I did is I calculated this whole spreadsheet out at 7%, because I was at the point where I was making 7%. My account was growing 7% per day. I don't know what it's going to be tomorrow or the next day or next month. Maybe it'll go down to 7% and stay there. Maybe it'll go down to 4%. I don't see how, but maybe it will. I can't predict the future. I'm not here to predict the future for you. All I can tell you is I ran this out at 7% and did these calculations. So when I change a value here, it changes the whole balance. So now I know exactly, I projected out how much I want to withdraw at what time, and I want to keep my balance going up. So it keeps compounding. So I set this schedule up, and I set it up for a once a week withdrawal. So the first week was supposed to be 5,000, the next week was supposed to be 7, the next week was supposed to be 10. Well, as you can see here, I did my 5,000 a day early because it was growing faster. I did my 7,000 1, 2, 3, 4 days early, and my 10,000 is going to be tonight. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days early. I'm like way ahead of the time schedule. So I said, this is not going to work. What I need to do is I need to just figure out what the balances are at these breakpoints and withdraw when I hit those. Then time doesn't matter. So that's how I got my withdrawal schedule. You may decide on a different withdrawal schedule. It's totally up to you. But I've already passed this point. So I'll be doing a 10,000 today. Now, if I were on just doing transactions with no referrals, that would be a lot slower. Now, it would still be amazing. Don't get me wrong. It would be nothing to complain about, but it's just not quite as fast. I mean, the reality is, folks, I'm going to take out, so today's day 27. I mean, the first 2 months, I'm going to take out 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, I'm going to take out 100 and some thousand, if not $200,000 the first 2 months. Withdrawals, and the account's going to be up to 800 grand. That's just based on my numbers that I'm looking at right now. That's probably exceptional. That probably won't happen for you, but it could. It's going to vary based on how much funds you start with and how many people you refer and how many of them fund and how much they fund and all that sort of thing. I'm just trying to give you a vision of what's possible for you. I know from many years of being in business, the average person can't conceive of big enough changes fast enough. They have this idea that big changes like that have to take a long time. And I've done this over and over in different opportunities, and the fact is they just don't have to take a long time. But people think everything has to take so long. It has to be so hard. Oh, it's too good to be true. Well, it doesn't mean it's not true. It is too good to be true if you are measuring it against the group agreement that society has, where you have to work hard and you have to trade money for time. But we don't operate on that. That's not what this is. This is just how many transactions can we complete per unit of time. That's what power is. It's how much work or how many results or how many cycles of action can be done per unit of time. So if you can get more cycles of action done in smaller time, that's more power. That's why my video yesterday was the power of the COTPS referral program or referral commissions, because it's powerful. So when I say it's powerful, I'm not just using some hyperbolic, some hyperbolic, superfluous buzzword. I'm going per the definition of power. Tons of results in a small amount of time. And I've never seen anything like it. I mean, you want to go from where you are now to literally being rich, per the definition of rich. Start referring others to this. It's one of the easiest sales in the world. Even the sorriest sad sack in the world can get people enrolled in using this thing. Now, a lot of you have reached out and you're like, well, my wife, after a few days, she saw what happened to my account. My wife joined under me. Oh, I put my daughter in. I helped her fund her account. People are putting their family members in because this is amazing. But how do we go from that to a level where we're putting 10, 20, 30, 40 new people in a day to get to the point where we're getting really, really astounding? And this is one of the things you may have to wrestle with, because you may be used to kind of struggling and you have this idea about how much you're worth, how much your time's worth. You go to work every day and you're making $20 an hour and that's about right. And someone offered to pay you $50 an hour, man, you'd be skeptical because why? Why is this so much? Well, I mean, basically you're dealing with your own ideas about how much your time is worth. So there's a lot of you, if I showed you a way to put 3 new referrals in a day, 90 new referrals a month, you'd be like, oh my God, that would be amazing. That's way more than I ever possibly considered that I could do. Like, that would be good enough for you. But the reality is you could do that in a day If you just knew how to do it, like if you knew how to get enough attention, if you knew how to streamline your communications enough, if you knew how to automate things enough, if you knew the correct data on how to do it and you applied the correct data on how to do it, you could get results like that. And I've been teaching people this stuff for decades. But usually it's with things like juices and lotions and potions and pills and affiliate offers. This is the first time it's ever been this freaking easy. I've never enrolled 600 people in 24 days before. I've had days and other offers I've enrolled 20 people, 15 people. I've done well, but 600? Oh, and my level 3's populating out with hundreds of people already without me doing anything? I mean, that's just the strength of the offer, because this thing's an absolute no-brainer. So some of you have come to me the last couple of days and you're like, well, how do I do this? Is there a page? Like, do you have a page set up where I could put my link? Because it's a problem, right? It's like if we go to our team resources, you see I've got at this point 2 promotional videos for use that people can use. And these are not, like for example, if I go to YouTube, this video is not, there's no links on it. It's nothing, it's not me. My face isn't on it. My name's not on it. There's nothing to identify it to me. I just put it on this channel for you guys. This is for our team. There's not even any videos on this channel. They're all unlisted. This makes it so someone can take this video and embed it in their website, or they can download it. If you're on our team, you can download it here and then upload it to your own YouTube channel, and you put your own referral link in the description. So one of you guys reached out, I don't remember the name, but one of you guys reached out yesterday, said, what's the easiest way for me to do this to make it fast where I can just like send people to the video and then my link is there? My answer was download the video, upload it to your own YouTube channel, put the link in the description of your YouTube video. You do that with both of these videos. But it's on YouTube. We have another problem, and the other problem is when you go into look at your team, there's no contact info for these people. Like some people are putting their number, I guess, for their username, but all you have is username. You don't know who these people are. So what's the limiting factor on COTPS? The limiting factor is new people getting funded. They've never used crypto before. It's scary. They don't know what it is. They need instructions. They need a baby step walk through how does the money flow from the bank through to the crypto wallet, from the crypto wallet to the COTPS account. How do you get your money out when you want? What all's involved? How do you do a KYC? Well, you got to turn dollars into USDT, Tether. What's that? This is scary, And it turns into a 5-day project of people with a headache, getting a headache trying to figure this out. They need to be walked through. When I first started with crypto, it was a different opportunity. It was on March 4th, 5 weeks ago. I knew nothing about crypto, and I spent 3 days just studying, trying to understand how it worked. And I said to myself, when I get this figured out, I'm going to put all the tutorials together so nobody has to go through this nightmare of pain. There's no reason why it had to be that hard. There's just no reason. But every tutorial you find about stuff like this seems to be given by somebody who's already an expert in crypto, and they talk to you using these terms that you don't know what they mean, and it's a nightmare. So what I've done is I put all the steps together so people can follow them. Step 1, bookmark this instruction page. Step 2, register with COTPS. Step 3, submit the form to add yourself to the team notifications list. Step 4, complete your KYC for COTPS. Step 5, set up a crypto wallet. Now, here's instructions. Here's the recommended one. I don't recommend it because there's any, I don't think there's any referral commissions on it or anything, but they're the one that's the least problematic. You don't have to use them. But it's like, I got a Coinbase account. I'm going to use that. No. Coinbase doesn't send USDT through TRC20 network. Can't do that. You can use Kraken. You can use CoinZoom. You can use Hyperpay app. There's some you can use. This is an example of some of the BS people have to go through when they're trying to figure this out on their own. They don't know where to go. I'll go to crypto.com. Well, does crypto.com send and receive USDT through TRC20? They don't even know what TRC20 is. They need to be walked through all this. If they're not, it slows them down 2 weeks. Or they get discouraged after 3 days of fighting with the learning and they just give up. If you're not plugging them into these resources so they can do that, everything slows down. This is one of the things you learn after being in this type of business for years and years and years. You have to make it efficient for people. You have to make it easy for them to understand and so forth. Well, how do you get them here? Look, here's what I got. Warren. I'm going to yell out the window, hey, Warren, go to the instructions page. I don't know how to reach Warren. I don't know how to reach Yahi or King Gotso. Who's that? So what's everybody asking me? How do we get the contact info for our referrals? You don't. You got to get it ahead of time. So what do? Well, let's go to my channel and I'll show you what I do. Here's day 24 update. Let's stop that. What does it say here? Register here. What do people comment? How do I register? How do I register? How do I register? By the way, all my comments are held for review first, so I don't have any comments on this yet. I probably got 500 comments in there waiting to go through. But if they register, where does it go? It goes here. Step 1, add yourself to the notification list. Why? Well, there's a 2-minute video that explains why. If you register and I don't know who you are, I have no way to get you the instructions. And so when you fill out this form, I'm going to email you the instructions page. You won't have to wonder what to do. You won't have to guess and scramble for information. I'm going to walk you right through it. Put your name and email. Submit yourself. Boom. Now I got their contact info. Now they got the instructions. Now instead of taking them a week of frustration, then reaching out to me with 8 million questions, they know exactly what to do and they're plugged in and they get funded like that. Well, you don't have that. What do you have? You have to manually talk to every person before they enroll, and you got to make sure after you enroll, you let me know your username and give me your email, and it just comes this time-consuming nightmare. You can't refer enough people in volume that way. It's just not fast enough. You need automated systems to do that. So this is part of an automated system. So they fill this out. It automatically adds their email and name to my email list. It automatically sends them an email or a series of emails as a link to the instructions page. It shows them exactly what to do. Most of the people never have any questions. On the instructions page, there's all the questions about the automation, the help videos, promotional resources, team updates, the FAQ page is here. Everything they need to know is all here. And when I do get questions, 99.9% of the time, my response is, please see the FAQ page. And I give them this link, and I don't have to answer anything. You see how fast? So I'm out shopping with my kid earlier. I come home, I make a video for you to show you how to do this. The rest of the stuff is very little time. The transactions are automated. The process of onboarding people is automated. The only time I have to really spend any time answering questions if somebody's really stuck on some goofy thing that doesn't make any sense. We even have completely done-for-you setups on the automation if you wanted to automate it. But the point of all this is not to entice you or to impress you. The point of all this is to illustrate to you the types of things you need to do to be able to bring in this many people. Now, maybe you don't care, but some of you might. So you have to be able to automate the process, the enlightenment process, the onboarding process. In order to do that, you need to have either someone has to do it all for you and set it all up for you, which would be super expensive. If you had to pay me to set that up for you, you know how much that would cost you? I mean, I'm earning $7,000 a day doing nothing. How much do you think I would have to charge you to spend 4 hours to sit there and build you a automated sales funnel? I mean, you just wouldn't want to afford it. I don't know if you could or not, because I don't know who's watching this. So you need to learn how to do this. Now, the great news is it's easy. It takes some time. The time is all spent in the learning stage. How do you use the tools and the resources? Now, if my own mother came to me and she said, I want to promote this offer and I need to make it more efficient, I need to automate it because it's taking up too much time and I'm not making enough money, where I would send her is a place called the Home Business Academy. The Home Business Academy. I'm a member of the Home Business Academy. It's exactly what it says. It's an academy for people who want to build home businesses. And it includes not only the education, which is the correct data, which is the main reason I recommend them, because it's the correct data. And I know both the owners, and I've known them for years and watched what they've done. And one of the owners is a member of our COTPS team. And they give you the correct data. They're actually out in the world doing this for a living. This is what they do, and they're really good at it. And they show you exactly how to do it. So you get plugged into the training, you get plugged into the mentorship, 24/7 mentoring, get plugged into the groups, get plugged into the live trainings. But on top of that, you have all the tools. So you can set up pages like this. And you could literally, if you're on my team, you can literally just copy these steps. And you can put your own referral link. So on my page, My page is on a different page. The one I'm showing you here is for our team. On my page, the instructions have my referral link right on the page. So they don't go, well, where's the instructions? You're on the instructions page. Like, you can create this with drag and drop. Drag a button over. What do you want the button to say? And they show you how to do this. The price on the Home Business Academy is ridiculous. Between the education and the tools, the hosting's included, the SSL's included for your websites. You can have unlimited pages. You can make membership sites, lead capture pages, sales pages, full sales funnels. Once you get them, you can share them with your team. It really is an amazing system they put together. And the whole thing's only $25. Folks, that's less than what I pay just for hosting for all my other stuff. It's a tremendous deal. So here's kind of what that page looks like. But they've got that page and funnel builder that even if you're like a drooling moron, you can learn to use it because it's all drag and drop. And they walk you right through and they show you everything. So if you don't have a way to automate this stuff, this process, this acquisition, enrollment, and onboarding instructional process, you need some kind of a system to do it with. The easiest system for you to use is going to be the Home Business Academy. Now, it's not the only system out there. There's ClickFunnels, there's Lead Pages, there's Power Lead System, there's some other systems, and I've used all of those. This is the easiest one. This is the most affordable one. This is the one where there's the most correct data for you to follow with the least amount of fluff, and they have a hell of a community there. As a matter of fact, one of the things that they do at Home Business Academy is every transaction, some of that transaction goes to feeding hungry kids. I don't know what the number is now, but like 3 months ago, there had been 107,400 some days worth of food provided through hungry kids through My Starving Children. And so there's a charity aspect to it as well. So I'll put the link for both of these. I'll put a link so you can learn about Home Business Academy below. I'll put a link so you can get to this video about how the page builder works, and they'll actually show you on the page before you ever even buy the thing how to use it. It's just drag and drop simple. And if you're watching this and you don't happen to be a member of COTPS yet, I'll put a link to register for that. If you're coming across this video and you haven't gone through the whole journey of like what's happened with me over the last 27 days, I'll put a link to the playlist and you can see all the daily updates for the Crypto's OTC opportunity and how my journey's come along. Now later tonight, I'm going to do a day 27 daily update as well. So you'll see 2 videos with the same shirt right next to each other. But this video is just for those people who want to start enrolling people en masse. It can be done, but it's not going to be done like that just by telling people by word of mouth. I mean, over time, you know, if you're enrolling one person a day or one person every few days or whatever, it can build up over time. But, you know, the way I think is like, let's do it big and let's do it now. Like, what the hell are we waiting for? Every day that these people are not participating, they're missing 3% profit. Every person you know has money sitting in a savings account. That could be multiplying, adding on 3.5% every single day. I mean, you know, somebody's got 20 grand in their savings account. What's that, $700 a day? They're losing $700 a day because you didn't bother to get them onboarded. And the next day they're losing 700 and, I don't know, what's 3% of 700? $21. And the next day they're losing $745. You see? I mean, it puts you in this position of responsibility where if you don't tell them, they're actually losing money. So that's all. Find the links below. That's the direction I would send you. I can't possibly go back and forth with the email teaching people how to do this. I mean, you need to plug into a community. You need a codified set of instructions to follow to learn how to do that stuff. And you need the tools. And you'll see everything I'm doing here is all on the fly. I'm changing stuff all the time. When this started, you know, only thing here was the two links. You know, how do you put these jump links in here? You know, all this stuff. You learn all that stuff in the Home Business Academy. Okay? All right, guys. We'll talk soon. Bye.